At first glance, urban exploration seems like a pursuit for adrenaline junkies, trespassers, or delinquents looking to deface property. But there's much more to this story, a tale of uncovering hidden culture and contributing to urban preservation. In 1960s West Berlin, amidst post-war division and student protest, filmmakers like Irena Verklen used their lenses as tools of urban exploration. Their films weren't just artistic expressions. They were historical and poetic accounts of a city's past and future. Laura Bowie, in her study during this era, shows how these explorations revealed unapparent aspects of urban life, inspiring a whole new perception of the world. These photos and films showed different interpretations of how life really was behind the wall. Verklen had created several films, one of which she explores an abandoned building between East and West Berlin in a no man's land. And another one where she films a long scene in a cemetery, only to be followed by scenes of destroyed ruins. At the end of this film, she displays an almost call to arms where she invites a sort of revolution. This comparison in imagery going from cemetery invoking thoughts of death to ruins showing what leads to death and destruction, and lastly her call to arms asking for a solution. She uses this form of urban exploration to tell a story of grief, destruction, and hope for a better future. Now fast forward to today, and one of the more common tropes of urban exploration, trespassing a property to explore what it has to offer. Bradley Garrett, through his ethnographic studies, brings us into the world of modern explorers. These individuals, often seen as part of a deviant subculture, are in fact challenging traditional boundaries, finding beauty and meaning in overlooked places. One instance of this is when they climb to the top of a construction site, just a set of scaffolding around a building called King's Reach Tower. Why would something so simple as climbing scaffolding be significant? Isn't this just a common workplace for the men and women who are up here every single day working? They believe that the beauty lies in the fact that this building is now in an in-between stage of life, and they're able to experience being a part of that. Garrett also brings up the fact that their pursuits are also acts of independence, questioning the limits imposed by authorities. Why should our spaces be limited? And to what extent will these limitations go? We will only see where it all leads. The other common trope that comes to mind when people think of urban exploration is graffiti. Now, growing up in Philly and living here my entire life, I see graffiti all the time and every day. Though like any other subculture, there are some people who take it too far. But a form of art that spawned out of this is murals. Philly is known for their expansive collection of murals and beautiful art that covers the sides of buildings in each of the far reaches of our beautiful city. Expanding further on this notion of positive actions stemming from graffiti, urban geographer Cameron McAuliffe's work on graffiti and street art in urban settings shows us how urban exploration can evolve to creative and entrepreneurship. People once getting into trouble for tagging or making street art are now selling their designs or prints on t-shirts in order to turn a profit. Now this seems great for them, but could this take a turn towards commercialization of this subculture in particular? Though this question may be beyond the scope of this video, this is definitely something that's been floating in my mind. Now, I trust that this presentation has broadened your perspective, maybe thinking that urban exploration should be looked at beyond those common misconceptions. It really is a gateway to understanding our cities, engaging with our communities, and preserving the narratives that shape our urban landscapes. Thank you.